Good evening, students. I guess there are about 30 students now. We can start the webinar right now, not to waste time for people who already joined. Okay, today we have a very interesting topic. This is a plan for 60 days. So, as you already know that FMGE August or September 2020, we have for this exam, we have about 2 or 3 months time since June 1st. So talking about this part, all those students who are targeting for FMGE August or September, we still don't know when they are going to implement this FMGE, whether in August or September. So we can think that we have minimum 2 months or 60 days time. Maximum, it can be 90 days time. So let's go for the least time. This is going to be about 60 days. That's why I made a very perfect plan for you, which is 60 days smart study plan. So let's go into detail. So about me, I'm Dr. Harry. I'm Director of DMA Chennai. I'm a research fellow and senior lecturer in Department of Anatomy and Neuroscience in Jinzhou Medical University, China. I'm an international faculty in some universities in China as well as in Russia. I authored many publications in various prestigious publishers like JP, Elsevier, and right now I'm publishing exclusively in Libraries da Vinci. I have been working with the educational sector since 2008, and my institute created more than 5,000 toppers in FMGE, USMLE, and many other competitive exams. Okay, these are some of our titles I published since 2010. And one of the publications I co-authored with one of the very famous surgery teachers in India, Dr. Rajamahendran, in JP publication. This is a general surgery for DNB, FMG, and NEET PG. And everyone is well aware about this quick review series. So quick review series for FMG is a hot cake right now. As you know that about 160 plus questions came from this book in 2019 December FMGE. And it's a good news which I'm going to tell you that our third edition of this book is supposed to hit the market by next week. And we are waiting for Amazon to start working. And yes, I get a lot of calls from many students, like we are getting about 10 to 15 calls per day. And it's a good news for everyone that, you know, we are planning to release it by next week, and you can expect to have this book in Amazon by Monday or Tuesday. Okay. So about my students, personally, I created more than 2,000 toppers in 2010. Many of my students already cleared FMGE. They cleared also NEET or USMLE. This time itself, more than 5 students of mine cleared NEET and they got PG seats. Okay, if you wish to look into more testimonials from our institute, you can just click this link. I can provide you this link and you can check our toppers and their testimonials. This is one of my students, Dr. Adam. He scored 230 in FMG 2019 June, and he was the second highest topper in all India. And he also contributed to our FMGE book, which we released for last minute revision, which is QRS for FMGE. And he also contributed in designing the study plans for FMGE students. Of course, you know that there's a saying in sports, no one knows sports better than the athletes. It's applicable to this FMGE too. No one knows better than the guys or the contestants who are contesting in this exam. He was one of the toppers, and we took many advices from him in order to sharpen and make our study plans to fit to our students better and to make it easier to approach. Okay. Still students are joining. So I can go for the first slide. As all of you know that we have about 60 days time minimum to target FMGE August. So all of you have about 60 days or 2 months time All of you are loaded with number of study materials. You know that nowadays the market is abundant of study materials. There's no deficiency. You can find apps, you can buy books, you can buy study materials, you can join one or the other coaching centers. But you should keep it in mind that even though more than 90% of the students are having study materials or apps or visiting one or the other coaching centers, there is a big dilemma that how to prepare for this FMGE August effectively using this short time. How am I going to read? What is the plan to be implemented? What is the schedule for revision? What type of question bank I should approach? How many times I should do this test practice? And what is the time management? So students are in dilemma how to manage this short time of 2 months of span to use this short time to be an effective preparation for FMGE to crack this FMGE August or September 2020 with one go. So as I explained you previously to you, you should understand a goal without a plan is always a dream. Right now you have a goal that you have to crack this FMGE August or September 2020, and you are dreaming that you have to study, somehow prepare to this exam and crack it with one go. But if you don't have a plan to be implemented, this goal is always going to be a dream. So what is my plan right now? I'm giving you a perfect smart study plan to make your dream to be a real one. So you can prepare for FMGE August or September 2020, and you can use this time effectively and you crack this exam for 100%. Okay, why this plan? So as I explained you in the previous slide, that the market is bombarded with number of study materials, study aids, apps, and coaching centers. About 90% of the students who already acquired one or the other study tools are clueless how to prepare effectively within this 2 months time to crack FMGE successfully. So they are in dilemma. They don't know how to study, how to manage time, what tests to do, how much to read, what to revise, when to revise. So here we are giving an amazing plan, a smart study plan. That's why I'm going to provide you a website link. You can click, you can copy paste, you can print out the study plan for 2 months. Why you have to watch this lecture, I'll explain once again. What you get in our website is completely free, but this is going to be an outline. I'm going to give you the insight of this study plan. Why did I design this study plan in this way, and how you are going to implement this in your real time, and how you are going to modify if it is needed, and how you are going to use this study plan to crack this FMGE in one go. So keep it in your mind. Once again, you have study material, you have video lectures, you have app, but more than 90% of the students are in dilemma how to study and when to revise and when to test. We are providing you a portal where you have everything in front of you, which can be printed out. I'm going to explain step by step how to approach and how to implement this. This is the plan for today. Okay. So in this 60-day smart study plan, what I'm going to provide to you, I already told, but once again, I'm reminding you. The first thing, we are going to give you a reading schedule. So the reading schedule is about comprehension and conceptualization. And second one, I'm going to give you a proper schedule for revision. You know that revision is the key for recall during your exam. If you don't have the recall ability, then you won't be able to bring the fact to choose the correct answers, even in the fact-based or the simple question, what you get in FMGE. The next thing is test schedule. Why do I give test schedule? Because you are going to practice, you're going to familiarize, you're going to practice with the software, yes, you're going to practice time management, you are going to increase accuracy, and you're going to increase your confidence level, and you're going to decrease your anxiety. Of course, the fourth one, we are going to provide some kind of FMGE hacks or tricks that will be helping you to study very effectively in a short time without wasting your time. the last part is the effect time management. So in our website, dmaedu.com, you can find a page where you can avail all the material I'm going to provide today. But keep it in mind, all of them will be provided as an outline. And here I'm going to explain you step by step how to use this study plan in your real time to utilize this short time period to pass FMGE. Okay, let's go to the next one. What are the targets of this 60 days program? I want to emphasize very, very important things here. You should know that you should have 3 abilities in order to pass this FMGE. The first part or the first one is called comprehension or conceptualization, which means once you are reading a study material, once you are reading a concept, you should comprehend and understand what they are trying to say. So you are clear of the concepts. So your conceptualization should be very clear, crystal clear. When a question is thrown to you, you are going to implement this concept into this exam and you are going to crack the answer easily. As I explained to you in the previous webinar, you know that about 30% of the questions in FMGE are conceptual questions, which means that you should understand the concept, you should comprehend the concept, and you are going to apply it into their question to understand what they are asking and to choose the correct answer. And the second part, as you already know, about 60% of the questions in FMGE are fact-based or simple questions, which means their answers depend on your recall or recalling ability. So you know that revision is the key for recalling ability. So if you can recall in the exam time, it will be easy for you to bring the facts back to your memory, and you are going to track it, you are going to bring it, and you are going to implement this in the question and crack the answer. And the third part, or the third thing, which is very essential for cracking the exam, is the examination taking skill. This is very important. You should know how to approach various MCQs. You should know how to handle the software. You should also know how to manage the time during the exam per MCQ. Previously, I explained this to you. We will have another one webinar, which will be exclusively dedicated for how to approach MCQs and how to manage the time in the exam per MCQs. So once again, the target of this 60 days program will be improving your comprehension and conceptualization, improving your recalling ability, improving your examination taking skills. These are the 3 essential targets of this 60 days program. So if I manage to improve your comprehension, which means you can implement this knowledge and you can try to crack the 30% of the question. If I give you some key how to recall the facts you studied, which means you can approach about 70% of basic, simple, fact-based questions. If I help you to improve the examination taking skill, which means this is going to help you overall how to approach the examination, how to handle the software, and how to manage the time during the exam with ease. So these are the 3 targets of this 60 days program. Okay, what is next? I would like to explain on which basis we designed this 60 days program. So I would like to introduce a special graph over here. This is called as Hermann-Ebbinghaus graph or decaying graph or forgetting graph. So the guy who is like slipping over the graph, his name was Hermann Ebbinghaus. He was a pioneer in educational psychology who lived in 1800s. And he worked with learning and memory. He did extensive research. And he found out one very obvious thing while he was studying and he was trying to recall whatever he studied. Based on the experiments, he plotted a graph which is called as forgetting graph of Hermann Ebbinghaus or decaying graph of Hermann Ebbinghaus or just Ebbinghaus graph. What is so obvious over here? You can see over here, yes, Let's assume that after sitting for a lecture, you grasped about 100% of the things theoretically. It's only theoretical, because you should know that it is impossible to grasp all the things what they provide in the lectures. Usually after a lecture, maximum retention will be about 10%. Let's assume theoretically you learn 100 things after 1 hour of lecture. So after completing this 1 hour of lecture, you can see two obvious things in this graph. There's a massive forgetting happening in the initial hours. You can see the graph is going very steep here. So what you can ascribe from this graph, by 24 hours, you already forgot about 40% of whatever you grasped. By 48 hours, you already almost forgot about 60 or 70% of whatever you studied. And after that, you can check this 7th day, technically it is 1 week, you almost forgot about 90% of whatever you studied. So what is obvious over here, once you are studying, there is going to be massive forgetting happening in the initial hours. And by 1 day, you forget 40%. By 2nd day, you are going to forget about 70%. So what is going to be the solution not to forget? So he worked in some other special programs. They are called as spaced repetitions. So he worked with special model of spaced repetitions. You can see over here. And what did he do? He asked his subjects to repeat and revise the studied material within a time span given. So this is called as spaced repetition. So he asked his students to repeat immediately within the class. After that, he was asking them to repeat the same material within 24 hours. Then he asked them to repeat within 1 week. Then he asked them to repeat within 1 month. And he actually observed something very interesting. Now you can understand the first graph. When you don't study, literally by 1 month, you almost forgot 90+%. But once you are repeating again and again with spaced repetition, the retention is staying back to about 80%. So how it is working? This can be explained by the neuroscience. According to the neurological basis of short-term and long-term memory, you can understand once you acquire new facts, they will be stored temporarily in short-term memory. You already know this. You studied in physiology. So once you have this short-term memory, they tend to decay very fast. But once you manage to convert this short-term memory into long-term memory by some techniques, what is going to happen? This short-term memory will not be forgotten. It will be converted into long-term memory, which will be stored for quite a long time. And also it will be very easy to recall. So our technique over here in this 60 days program is to acquire the knowledge, convert it into short-term memory, use spaced repetition in order to convert the short-term memory into long-term memory. That will be helpful for recalling during the examination. So as you see here, fact will be stored in short-term memory, and if you don't review or revise, it will be forgotten. It will be decayed. Once you are revising for multiple times by the means of spaced revision, it is going to be converted into long-term memory, and the long-term memory is going to stay for quite a long time, and also you can recall it faster and effectively when you need it. So this is the neurological basis of our program. So now you can see over here. So we are going to give you a plan to read. There's going to be initial comprehension, and we are going to ask you to repeat it as soon as possible. We are going to give revision schedule that is going to be fixed by 24 hours. You are going to revise again in 1 week. You are going to revise again in 1 month. So what we are trying to implement from the educational psychology point of view in our DMA 60-day study plan, we want you to comprehend and we want you to revise in spaced repetition. That is going to help you to remember the material for 80%, which means retention will be 80%, which means you can recall the facts very fast. So we are helping you with the comprehension. We are helping you with the recall. Of course, I'm going to give the test plan to you that will be helping you to practice how to approach the MCQs, how to handle the softwares, and how to manage the time during the exam. So this is the sample frequency of revision or spaced revisions in our program. For example, if I'm going to tell about anatomy, I'm going to ask you to read anatomy in the first day. Then we are going to ask you to repeat within 24 hours. We are going to ask you to do the subject-wise revision within 24 hours. Sorry, 1 week. We are going to ask you to do the module revision. Actually, I'm giving 2 module revisions within 1 month time. And at last, we are giving you a pre-exam cramming session. So technically, we are giving about 4 to 5 revisions. Therefore, you should understand your retention and recalling ability should be above 80%. So this is not a rocket science. This is very simple from educational psychology point of view. If you work with a strategy with educational psychology and analyzing the examination skills and weightage of the exams, and if you follow this program successfully, and we can assure you, you are not going to flunk in the exam. Okay, let's go into the 60-day smart study plan outline. So this is about 2 months FMGE preparation plan. You can start asking me question, 2 months, which means it is something like 60 days. Why did I put 55 days? So the plan is going to be broken down into 4 sessions here. And in first sessions, I'm giving comprehension plus a revision 2. Now let me explain why 55 days. Why not 60 days? I am giving you 5 days extra for some kind of unexpected events happening in during your preparation that will lead to failure of preparation. For example, you are unable to read, or you are skipping, you are not able to cope up with one subject within the time span given, which means you are going to extend the time of reading and comprehension by 1 day. Or you're skipping because of some kind of unavoidable reasons. So you need extra time. That's why I'm giving you 5 days extra. In case you skip, in case you are unable to complete as I give the plan, so you are going to utilize extra 5 days. That means you are going to have about 60 days overall, but I am providing a plan for 55 days. So this plan is going to be divided into 4 sessions. The first session is for 41 days. Here we are going to do subject-wise revision and the first comprehension and revision. Sorry. And the second session is going to be 8 days. Here you are going to have your module-wise session. You are going to read once again and revise once again. And the third session is going to be intense sessions. This is going to be for 5 days. Again, I am going to give a module-wise revision in intense session. And the last part is going to be a pre-exam cramming. Once again, 2 months preparation. I am excluding 5 days. That will be kept as a resort for you in case you miss something because of some kind of unavoidable conditions. So 55 days will be broken down into 4 sessions. First session will be 41 days with the breaks, which will be dedicated for comprehension and first revision. Second session is going to be 8 days with breaks, module-wise revision. Then third session is going to be 5 days intensive module-wise revision. And the fourth session is 1 day pre-exam cramming. So strategically, we are making you to comprehend and revise more than 4 times in order to increase your recall. That's why I want to emphasize once again, our DMA 60 days program has been devised based on the educational psychology, analysis of exam pattern with subject weightage and exam skills. So you follow this and you can understand it is going to make sure that you are getting up in the morning, you have a schedule to read, you have a schedule to test, you have a schedule to revise, so you don't need to be in a dilemma to make a new timetable and waste your time. You just wake up, in front of you, what is there? The timetable is there. You just have to follow. So you don't need to waste extra time. We are providing you the complete smart study plan, reading revision and test, and how to manage the time. So you can easily crack this FMGE. Okay. So what is the synopsis? As I already explained to you. We are going to help you to comprehend and conceptualize the materials. This is the first part. After completing this, we are going to ask you to do the test because we are going to provide you a test plan. After that, we are going to give a revision plan. Within 24 hours, you are going to revise what you studied in the previous day. And as I already told you, the complete subject-wise revision should be done within 1 week time. And the subject-wise test should be done within 1 week time. And I already told you, within 1 month time, I'm going to give you 2 module revisions. And one very important thing I want to emphasize over here, you should try to practice mock tests as many as possible. Because you should understand, even though you might study, if you don't practice, what happens once you go to the exam for the first time, you will be stuck up with the time management and the software. Once you keep practicing the test, it doesn't matter you know something or you don't know something. If you are sitting for the exam, once you are looking at the template of NBE, for the first time, you are going to get immense anxiety. This anxiety is going to shut down your brain. Once it is disproportionate, it is going to shut down your brain. Once your brain is shutting down, you won't be able to focus. You won't be able to crack this exam. This is the very important thing. Yes? Because anxiety can shut down your brain and you can flunk. Regardless the amount of theory and knowledge you have, you can flunk because of the disproportionate anxiety. How we can help? You keep on doing the test, and the test will increase your endurance, it will increase your accuracy, it will increase your confidence, but it will decrease your anxiety. So I personally advise you from DMA to practice 1 test per week. It doesn't matter you know knowledge or you don't know knowledge, you are going to desensitize yourself. You decrease your anxiety, you increase your confidence. So preferably during the break, if you think that you are unable to give this exam during your preparation, then you can use the break time, because we are going to give you 1 or 2 days break in between the preparation. You can use this time, use 5 hours, you can sit for 1 grand mock per week. This is going to be very essential. If you don't know how to ride the motorbike, yes, first time once you take the motorbike, you won't know how to kick, you don't know how to hold the gear, you don't know how to release the clutch. But once you keep on practicing, these activities will become very fluid. We want you to do the same thing. We want you to practice, we want you to have the endurance, we want you to have the confidence, and we want you to decrease the anxiety. Like once you start practicing with the motorbike, once you start practicing for 1 month, 2 months, then the motorbike riding ability becomes very fluid. We want you to do the same thing here. We are going to help you with reading session, revision, test, and time management. I wish to show this image to you and emphasize once again, FMGE preparation is exactly like a guy preparing for marathon. Keep it in mind, you cannot afford to let your mind or body to slack off until you finish. So you have this 60 days time, effective short time, and you cannot manage to let your body and mind to slack off until you crack this FMGE. So be ready. We are going to give you the insight. We are going to give you the plan. So it is going to be really easy how to crack. You just have to stick to the plan, follow the plan, and you will get the idea how to crack the FMGE within the 60 days. Because many people started thinking that we have only 60 days. Is it enough? Of course it is enough. We are going to give you a plan. We are going to back you up. We are going to help you out. Then you can follow this plan, and it is sure that you can crack this FMGE. Okay, about the materials to be used over here. These 60 days and the plan what I am devising and giving you is originally designed on the basis of our app. Our TalentNet app consists of 75,000 questions and gold standard study material and QRS for FMGE, the book which I have been talking about. So originally we devised the plan based on this high yield material, which is helping thousands of students to crack FMGE. However, if you have any structured NB-centric good materials and test bank, then you can go for it. Once again, We devised this plan based on the TalentMed app with gold standard material and QRS only. But if you have any good structured MBE centric material and question bank, you can go for it. Let's go to the next one. Time management. This is one of the FMG hacks I want to explain you. So what is going to be the time management? How you are going to manage the time during the preparation? Keep it in mind, once again, you have effectively 60 days to prepare for FMGE from now. So how much time you should dedicate per day? Let me explain this part. If you try to focus for about 10 hours, you can effectively use only about 2/3 of the total time you are dedicated. We know that everyone is lazy. We have other things to do. We might get a phone call. We might have some social media things to do. We might have some serials to watch. So you should understand everyone has their own life. So if you try to focus for about 10 to 14 hours, then you can effectively focus on about 2/3 of this total time schedule. So I want you to focus for 14 hours, which means you can study for about 10 hours or 9 hours. You should understand this. Okay, what is going to be the schedule we are suggesting? We are suggesting you a reading, watching, and discussion schedule. This is going to be for about 7 to 9 hours per day, which means if you target 7 to 9 hours, probably you will be studying for about 5 or 6 hours. You know that you will be able to focus only about 2/3 of the total time dedicated. You are going to revise for 2 to 3 hours. You are going to practice for 3 to 4 hours. So once again, you are going to target 14 hours, but we won't be able to effectively execute our study plan for 14 hours. We will waste 1/3 of this. So we are going to use about 2/3 of this 14 hours. So you should have a plan for reading or taking notes, watching lectures, and discussion. Keep it. This is going to be the first priority. You are going to dedicate 7 to 9 hours for this purpose. Then revision 2 to 3 hours, practice test 3 to 4 hours. You can modify this. Okay, many questions are arising about when to study, when to start, when to stop, and when to sleep. Many students call me, sir, we are studying in this institute, we are studying in that institute. I just want really a frank answer that when should I start studying and when should I have a small nap. You should use your high energy time and the time when you can really focus on your studies. It's true. But I suggest you to start to study from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. What is the reason? All of you know that your exam is going to be conducted between this time span only. So you should be there early in the morning. You're going to start to focus in the exam in the morning, yes, and you're going to start the exam by 9 and you're going to finish it by 5 p.m. So technically, you should be focusing very attentively into your study materials or in the test during this time span from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You cannot afford to sleep between this time. I know most of you might be nocturnal guys, but you should manage to convert your active energy focused study plan from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. during this 60 days. Why? Because you are going to practice your rhythm now to fit for this time span, which is going to be the time span when the FMGE will be conducted. So you are changing it from night to the morning time. You should study from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You should practice from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can't sleep during this time. If you manage to maintain this active duration of study hours and test hours, for sure you can crack. This is the practice to be awake and be very attentive during this time span once again. And another one very important question. Many students ask me, sir, we have only 60 days. Probably we have to sacrifice our sleep. Is it real? Is it important to sacrifice our sleep? Student, it is a grave mistake. Once again, you have to sleep for minimum 7 hours per day because you know that your brain doesn't shut down once you sleep. It is quite opposite. It is paradox. Once you sleep, it starts working very actively. It sorts out all the problems what you actually acquired, and it is helping you to condense the material you studied, and it is also converting your short-term memory into long-term memory. This process is called as consolidation in neuroscience, and consolidation happens during the sleep. So keep it in mind, you are going to sleep for 7 hours, but don't sleep during the active FMGE examination time from 9 o'clock till 5 p.m. And if you want to know more about the time management and how to prepare, how you can escape from the procrastination, all such information can be given in our website. You can see the link is given over here. After I complete this webinar, I'm going to provide you a set of links where you can acquire a lot of knowledge regarding time management, how to approach the MCQs, how to cope up with the procrastination, also about other things what I'm discussing here. So here I'm not discussing A to Z everything about time management. We are going to discuss only about time management in another one webinar. Here I'm giving you everything in a nutshell. How many hours to study, how many hours you will use for reading, how many hours for revision, how many hours for practice, yes, which time to which time you should be very active, you should not sleep, and how many hours per day you have to sleep. Did you get? Did you understand? Okay. So one more thing, I'm not discussing more into detail about time management here. So you can find the link. Of course, I'm going to provide the link, and you can click the link and you can go to our website and you can find a downloadable version of the to-do list. Because many students complain to us, sir, even though we have a study plan, we don't know exactly how to follow the schedule because we have other things to do also. We have other priorities in my family. So what should be done, sir? So we are providing you a to-do list. You can write down the things with priority and timing, your personal thing, your meals, and everything can be written over here. If you miss something, how to cope up with this, everything is given in this chapter. We call it how to effectively manage the time during the FMGE preparation. It is given in detail in our website. And you can see a sample of the to-do list that can be downloadable, and you can use it for your preparation time to make your time management very effective. Okay. As I already told you, you can click the link what we are going to provide. You can get into our website, DMA website, and you can find abundance of information. How to manage the time, what should be focused, how to manage the short time, yes, what is given for effective preparation, and how to cope up with procrastination, and so forth. Mark it. Okay. Daily schedule for revision and reading. So this is for session 1. Once again, I already told you we are dividing the 60 days program into 4 sessions. The first session is for 41 days with the breaks. This is going to be dedicated to reading comprehension and revision. And of course, I'm going to give you a plan for test 2. So this is the first session. What is going to be the daily schedule? I'm going to show you, but I'm going to show you a very simple trick or FMGE hack, how we are going to read or revise during this session. So you can see, this is a very simple and effective method. We call it 3R method. This is the modified Feynman technique of reading and revision. What are these 3 R's? So first R is called reading and comprehension. Let's say we are providing you a material. You can use QRS. You can use gold standard material. And how to use this one, you are going to read and you are going to understand what is given there. So this is the first part, reading and comprehension. After completing one topic, let's see, you are reading, let's say, action potential. After completing this topic, you are going to close this page and you are going to recite or recall whatever you read. So this is going to show you whatever you studied is stored in your brain, and are you able to recall them or no? This is the second one. After completing this recitation, you understand some parts you are missing. Again, you open the book, again you open the study material or the app, you are going to find what things you don't remember, you are unable to recall. So first is reading and comprehension, then recitation or recall. After completing these 2 hours, you are going to go for a fast review session. So here you can understand we are making you to read 3 times. At least an effective revision is coming within 1 day time. So as I showed you the Hermann-Ebbinghaus graph, if you revise the material you studied within 24 hours, your effective retention is going to stand above 80%. This is exactly what we are doing. So now you can go into this daily schedule for session 1. What do we do first? First, you are going to read and recall. This is the comprehension part. How much time you can spend on this? 6 to 9 hours. So once you start sitting for 9 hours, probably you can study for 6 hours, because you know that you cannot effectively utilize the whole time you are using for studies. So what is so important here, I want to emphasize from an educational psychology point of view. Your brains are wired to trick you to think that you studied everything, you comprehended everything, and you remember everything, whatever you studied, because you know that you all are lazy. So once you study a study material, automatically your brain will be tricking you to think that, okay, fine, you already studied everything, you remember everything. But it is not reality, because there are some knowledge gaps. So what is this phenomenon? How do we call it? This is called illusion of competency, which means there are some knowledge gaps that have to be filled up. You should fill up this gap in order to have an effective comprehension. But normally once you study, there are gaps, but your brain is faking you to think that you already know everything. So what do we have to do? I'm helping you with this illusion of competency, how to cope up with the illusion of competency in 2 levels. First, you can see you are reading. Now your brain is tricking you to think that you know everything, but you close your eye or you close your book and you're trying to recall. Recalling is one of the methods of finding out what is the illusion of competency or what are the knowledge gaps. So this is the first step. After completing reading and recall, you are going to go for the test. We are giving you a test schedule. After completing anatomy, you are going to go for the anatomy subject-wise test. Or after completing 1 chapter, you are going for upper limb. Let's say you completed upper limb anatomy. Now you are going for the test of upper limb. What happens? Once you are doing the test, again you can face some questions and you can understand what is the reality, what is illusion of competency, what are the knowledge gaps. Once you do these exams, once you find the MCQs where you are failing at, and you are going to replenish this gap with the explanatory answers. So after completing this topic and test, you are going to do the review. That is the last part. So we are giving you 6 to 9 hours per day for comprehension, 4 hours for test, and 2 hours for review. This is going to come within 24 hours from the initial comprehension. Is it clear? So comprehension, 2 hours, and you're going to do the test, various tests, and the last hour is going to be done within 24 hours, which means we are making you to revise within 24 hours. Is it clear? Okay, let me go into day by day session. Now I can go faster. Okay, how we are dividing the first 41 day sessions with the break. So now you can see I am dedicating more time to high yield subjects than the low yield subjects. So you know that there are 10 subjects that are high yield. So we are going to give more time for these subjects, and the low yield subjects like anatomy and physiology, we are giving less time, because I already told you this study plan is based on educational psychology and analysis of exam pattern, weightage, and examination skills. So the weightage of anatomy is relatively low compared with biochemistry. So the first day, you are going to follow anatomy. You can use our study material, gold standard study material, or you can use the QRS book. If you plan to go and find study material, you can go to our website. Once you find the same timetable, you can click in this how to study. It will direct you to our app. So those who don't have a proper study material, those who are still in dilemma with choosing the proper appropriate QBANK, you can click here and you can choose and buy our study material, our app, or our QBANK. They are not expensive, but it's not necessary. I am recommending you we base our study plan on our study material, but if you have any other NB centric material, you can use it. Okay, so how to use anatomy? As I already explained you, first you comprehend the anatomy 2R, then you will be doing the test pertinent to anatomy, then within 24 hours you are going to do the review of anatomy. This is going to be the pattern of reading and revision during this session 1. So first day anatomy, second day physiology, third and fourth day it is going to be biochemistry. High yield subject 2 days. Pathology high yield subject 2 days. 6 days complete. I want you to revise all these subjects on the 7th day. If you remember from the graph, I already told you, you study, you are revising within 24 hours. First revision and the second revision will be within 1 week of time. So we are going to keep your retention and recalling ability up to about 80%. Next day, you are going to take a break. So the pattern is going to be same for 41 days. Let's go to the next one. You have microbiology for 1.5 days, pharmacology for 1.5 days, and PSM for 3 days. As you know, PSM is very high yield, and many students don't know PSM because we are studying abroad. Because you miss pertinent parts of PSM. So we are giving you 3 days to comprehend and revise PSM. Same story, by the 7th day, you are going to revise whatever you studied during these 6 days. So this is going to be the second day, second revision, then you have a break. Next, surgery 2 days, medicine 2 days, OBG 2 days. You know that these 3 are very high yield subjects. You get 30 questions, 90 questions from these subjects. So you read, revise, do the test, and you are going to revise all of them by 7th day. So there is initial reading and comprehension, within 24 hours revision, again second revision by 7th day, then you are taking a break. Now you are going to the next section. I am giving 1.5 days for ophthalmology, high yield, 1.5 day for ENT high yield, and all other leftover subjects. For example, pediatrics 1 day, short subjects I am giving 2 days. These are low yield subjects, so I am giving 3 days for all of them. And whatever you studied in these 6 days, you are going to revise, then you are going to take a break. What is the next level? Now you can see about 70% of the questions are fact-based. So they are simple recall questions. They are fact-based questions, which means you should try to remember all these high yield points. In our QRS book, there's a very important section called nuggets, where you get most important, least important, and what is the drug of choice, what will be the investigation of choice, what is the treatment of choice, what are the bodies in pathology, what are the bodies in histology. All high yield points are clustered into a very important chapter called nuggets. So if you have something similar to this, you can follow, because if you can crack these 70% of questions, you can pass FMGE. This is not rocket science. This is statistics. You know that pass percentage of the FMGE is drowning because the students don't know the tactics. If they know the insight into the FMGE, if they know the tactics, of course they can pass. But nobody is teaching them the tactics. I just want to say that you know that pass mark is 150. That is 50% of the whole FMGE marks. But 70% of the questions are simple recall, and if you manage to remember and recall these simple recalls, technically you pass. So you cannot afford to make a mistake of missing such points like most common, least common, drug of choice. We are providing all of them clustered in a very high yield chapter in QRS called nuggets. If you have similar material, you can go for it. If you don't have, you can click, you can go to our app and you can avail our material. So I'm giving 4 days for these nuggets. You are going to study, you are going to comprehend, you are going to revise. And again, you know that about 30% of the questions are conceptual. Many of them are case-based. So in our QRS, we are giving another one very high yield topic or chapter. This is called anticipated cases. What kind of cases can be asked per subject? We are giving 500 cases about. So which means you can apprehend and you can anticipate all the type of question that can be asked in a case form. If you have similar material, you can go for it. So after comprehending and revising for 6 days, I want you to do the second revision. So after completing these 39 days, I want you to take break for 2 days. Once again, now you can see over here, yes, starting from the first week, you are getting break, 1 day break, and at last I am giving you 2 days break. I recommend you to do the grand mock test at least during this break time. If you think that you cannot afford to do this grand mock test during the study time because you don't have enough time, you have breaks. In these breaks, you can spend about 5 hours trying to practice 1 grand mock test per week, which means you can plan for 8 grand mock tests during these 60 days. This is going to help you to approach the MCQs easy, increase the accuracy, confidence, and decrease the anxiety. You get used to this application, you get used to this software, it becomes really fluid. It is very important that you are handling the software easy. Okay, let's go to the next session. This is very simple. Again, I already told you. The second session is going to be 8-day session with the break. Here we are breaking the study material and plan into modules. And I'm giving you little different study schedule per day. So let me show you here. The first module is going to be the basic module. This basic module is called BAP, which means biochemistry, anatomy, and physiology. This is the foundation of medical education. So I'm asking you to read it and recall it and use 4 hours for this. After that, you are going to do all the tests you completed previously in the previous session during these 5 hours in this exact day. So on 42nd day, you study and revise anatomy you studied already, biochemistry you studied already, physiology you studied already. You do all the tests, you are repeating the test. After that, what you are going to do, you are going to do a revision again of 3 subjects. After completing this, you are going to do a module mock test. We, in our TalentMed app, we are providing module mock tests you can get through the app. If you have module mocks in other institutes or other apps, you can practice this. So this is how we are working with. You read again, recall, fill up your knowledge gap because you have to cope up with your illusion of competence. Yes, and you are going to review again, and I am giving one more added edge with 1 set of exams. Same thing you are going to do for the next session. Next day, what is going to be here? This is going to be module 2 MPP, microbiology, pathology, and pharmacology. Same story, 4 hours you are going to read, recall, then you are going to do all the tests what you did in the previous session. Then you are going to do a revision, then you are going to go for a module mock test you can find in our app. Same thing is applicable for another one module. What module over here? We have PSM, forensic medicine, and radiology. Then you are going for the 45th day, you are going to do the revision of medical subjects. For example, internal medicine, you are going to do also psychiatry, dermatology, and similar subject, medical subjects. Next one, you are going for 46th day. Here you are going to do surgical subjects. And 47th day, I want you to revise the nuggets and cases. So now you can understand in the first session, we gave you time for comprehension and first revision. And in the second session, again, we are giving you a time for module reading and module revision. After that, I'm giving you 2 days break, and make sure you are going to practice 1 grand mock test during these 2 days. What is next session? It is very simple. Again, I am dividing them into 3 active days with number of modules. So now you can see first day, 50th day, you are going to do first, second, and third module, which means biochemistry, anatomy, physiology, microbiology, pharmacology, pathology, PSM, radiology, and forensic medicine. First read, then you are going to do a grand mock test because you already did your revision for 2 times. You studied all 18 subjects. So here what you are going to do technically, after completing the first level of reading in session 3, which is intensive revision, you are going for one mock test. In our app, we give mock test with the latest pattern of exams, which means our specialists handpick the latest pattern of exam. They prepare the material and question with the latest pattern of exam, and we are providing grand mocks with the latest pattern of exam. You can get it in our app. So after completing the mock, what you are going to do? You are going to do the review, which is technical revision. This is applicable to next 2 days too. You are going to do medical and surgical subjects, one grand mock, and after that you are going to do a revision. Then 52nd day you are going to do nuggets and cases, one grand mock and revision. Then 2 days break you are getting. Try to do one more mock test. What I am trying to do, I am asking you to practice in the mock test. So you are going to practice to approach MCQs, you increase your accuracy, confidence, decrease the anxiety, yes, and you get used to the application. So it becomes more fluid, so you access the exam very easy. My students are scoring 200 plus. Many of my students are passing. The reason behind this, they do n number of tests. During the exam times, yes, during the university time, I'm providing n number of tests. They know, they don't know, they are using the app, they're doing the test, so they're getting desensitized and their activity is becoming fluid. So they are approaching without anxiety. I want you to do the same. I want you to pass. So we are giving you all the hacks in order to make you to pass in one shot. Next one, last session. So those guys who left already, I kept a surprise for you. I forgot to tell you. By end of this lecture, I'm going to provide you a link which will take you to our website where you can find all the high yield chapters and subjects for 2020 FMGE, which means you can find all the chapters necessary to pass this FMGE with the percentage of question asked. This is actually calculated as per the statistics by the specialists and experts. So we are not saying that, for example, in biochemistry, lipid is going to come. We actually analyze the new pattern, we analyze the new trend. According to the statistics we are providing, what will be the most high yield subjects and most high yield chapters. By end of this webinar, I'm going to provide you one link. You can click, you can go to my website and you can download all the things needed. This is going to be a treat for you. Okay, what is the last session? The last session is called pre-exam cramming. So one day before the exam, you can use about 12 hours. Yes, at least I want you to study or revise 10 high yield subjects. These 10 subjects are high yield subjects and you target about 240 marks from these 10 subjects. You know that FMGE consists of 19 subjects. Out of these 19 subjects, these 10 subjects are high yield because 240 marks are coming from these 10 subjects. What they are? Biochemistry, microbiology, pathology, pharmacology, PSM, internal medicine, surgery, gynecology, ophthalmology, NEET. So if you don't get time to revise 19 subjects, we advise you strongly to revise at least these 10 subjects. And we advise you, if you can use, if you have QRS, it is going to be a treat for you because this is going to help you to crack the FMGE. And it is very helpful, very handy to carry wherever you want, and you can do the last minute revision very easy. Okay. So this is what I explained about. So you can click this link. So don't worry, no need to take screenshot, no need to write down the link. I'm going to provide all the link regarding our study materials, our study plans, yes, our subjects, yes, from our website in a special message below our webinar. Which means after I complete in YouTube and in our Telegram group, we are going to provide all the necessary links. You can click, you can go and you can download it. So I'm going to provide you 60-day study plan link. I already explained you Why did I choose to have 4 sessions? What is the educational psychological basis? What is the analysis of exam? What is the analysis of examination skills? So here you can understand that we provide the insight in this webinar, but the outline of this 6-month, 60-day study plan will be given in our website. You can get to our website 24/7, you can download them. If you need to get a pertinent high-yield study material, you can click into how to study. It will divert you to our app. You can buy if you choose to buy anything. Okay, next one, I'm going to provide you one more link with how to manage the time during the preparation. What are the hacks? What are the tricks? What is the to-do list? How we are going to use this to-do list? That is going to be another one. The last part all of you are waiting for is high-yield subject and chapter for FMGE 2020. This is the link I'm going to provide. You can click, you can go there. High-yield subjects will be divided into chapters, and the most high-yield chapters will be given with the percentage based on the analysis by experts and our toppers. Okay. So let me finish with 2 more slides. So I want to say that the 60-day study plan is given to you. You can use, but you are on your own. You should know that we have also one more plan called FMGE Smart Formula. In Smart Formula, we are giving a smart study plan for 60 days. This is little different from what I explained to you. Why it is different? Because in the Smart Formula, we are going to analyze each student. Once we are analyzing each student, we are going to understand what are the deficiencies, what are the psychological profiles, what are the learning profiles. Many students already went through this Da Vinci Analytica and they understood actually what we are doing. After analyzing, I'm going to provide a customized study plan to students. Then we are going to give a special lecture session. Then we are going to have a special revision session, and multiple revisions will be given from this time. And we are going to back up, and we are going to follow you up, and we are going to advise you and counsel you in day-to-day basis. So we make sure that you pass. This package is available now, and one batch is starting by 7th of June, and the second batch will be starting by 12th of June. This is a special class, which is not the regular course, what we provide. Here we are going to back up the student. We are providing a student-centric approach, and we are monitoring them 24/7. We make sure they pass the FMG within 60 days in one go with the least effort. Early bird offers are available. You can use also a coupon. Whoever is like following this class or webinar today, you can use a coupon. The code is Dr. Harry 2020. If you use Dr. Harry 2020 while you're calling for smart class, you can get a good discount. Once you contact this number, what I am providing over here, you give the coupon Dr. Harry 2020, and you can avail a good amount of discount. So this program is high impact, very effective. We are giving a lot of student-oriented things here. We are backing them up. We are monitoring them. We are counseling them. We are making sure that their efficiency is sticking to 75+%. So they target 240 marks and they pass with the least effort. You don't need to worry. You don't need to be on fire. You don't need to break your head that you don't have a timetable. You don't need to worry that nobody is like looking after you. We do everything for you. We are there for you. This is a very special course you can follow. If you are interested, please call on this number. Avail the discount by using the coupon Dr. Harry 2020. Okay, the last part. Whenever you click the study, how to study button, what is given in our website, it will take you to the website. This is our app website. You can get the full package. Also, you can get some other small packages. For example, grand mocks, subject-wise mocks, and also some free packages. So what I have been talking about since 7 o'clock is about exactly this package. This package consists of full gold standard high-yield study material. You are also getting last-minute revision here. You are getting high-yield image bank, and also you are getting a revision video session, which is a compact session. We call it as Fire Rate. It is incorporated into this. And the price is merely 4,000 rupees. We are charging 4,000 rupees for all these materials, and the package will be valid until FMGE 2020 August or September. If it is going to be September or if they postpone it to October, you can get the validity extended. So if you think that you want to use this effective 60-day study plan, and if you are lacking any good study material, if you have, it's okay, you can follow. If you are lacking any good study material, if you are lacking a good question bank, then I highly recommend you to go to FMG Formula full package. Okay. And the last thing I want to say, all those students who joined our Telegram group, like, you're welcome, and you know that we are already having the discussion for FMG. One good news is that we are going to start daily discussion of 50 MCQs. We are also going to circulate free study material in downloadable form, gold standard study material. We are going to provide short video lectures on hot topics. We are going to give also some high-yield PDF books, especially our books. So whoever didn't join our Telegram, after completing this webinar, I'm going to provide a lot of links where you can avoid the study plan, time management, high-yield chapters, and also the links to join or contact us. If you have any questions, don't hesitate, contact us. We are there to help you. If you are stuck, we are there to help you. Don't worry. Yes, you don't think that you are running out of time. You can make this 60 days as an effective study plan and utilize this time, and I assure you, you can really pass this exam. And I hope you all enjoyed this. And next week, I'm going to come with a new topic, and we are going to discuss a very specific topic. This is going to be how to approach the MCQs during the FMGE, how to manage the time of MCQs during the FMGE. This is a very important and specific topic, and a lot of students are lacking such a skill. So once you go to exam, actually you tend to make mistakes, you tend to give more time to one question, and you are running out of time for other questions. So we are going to teach you, we are going to enlighten you how to approach different type of MCQs, what are the type of MCQs, how to approach different type of MCQs, how to manage the time during this, what is the educated guess, how to change the answers if you want to change the answer. So this is going to be a special webinar by next week, which is going to be high yield. I request all the students who participated in this webinar to share this knowledge with your friends, share our links with our other friends, so they also can be benefited from our webinar and our study material and MCQ discussions we provide in the Telegram group. I'll provide all the links. Once again, if you have any other doubts, please ping me. We are ready to answer you 24/7. And thank you for attending the webinar. Thank you.